Welcome back. It is Saturday, September 16th, and the MLB. Our three favorite picks are on the way. It's Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap how we did yesterday. It's been kind of a weird MLB week, if you will, but a 2 and 3 day. Let's break it down a little bit, losing about a sixth of the, 0.64 units. Now we had Mets team total under 3.5. I even told you Pete Alonso. He was watching the video. Thanks, Pete. He hits a 3-run homer. It's just comical, but we cashed that one. The Braves team total over 2.5 was pretty sweat free. Then we had Giolito, an absolute masterclass, 12 strikeouts, best start of the year. Probably fade him next start. Astros Royals over 9.5 did not hit, largely due to Altuve was the one leg of our hit parlay that didn't hit either. So Altuve and the Astros really kind of hurt us yesterday. But either way, 2 and 3 days, we felt like we've been about 500 for the last week or so. Hopefully we can break out of that stretch and go 3-0 today. But we do have some important news. If you are looking for an MLB video on Sunday, I have some bad news for you. No MLB video tomorrow. We talked about this last week. We're just not going to bet on Sundays because speaking of other videos, we got live college football for Saturday. Our picks video went live yesterday. We also have an NFL picks video live that already is live with our favorite spread picks. And we also have some more player props. We have our long shot parlay video. We're trying to turn $10 into $1,000 just on NFL Sunday. So if you want to check out those videos, those will be live on the channel. Well, plenty of units pending. We just aren't going to bet MLB on Sunday because we already know Sundays are really bad. It's always hard to predict that. But Logan, you got 2 picks today. You're going to an over in one of the first games, and I really like it. Which game are you going to?
Yeah, I love this play. I'm going to the Cubs versus Diamondbacks game, and I'm taking the over 9 runs, plus 100 odds on BetMGM, currently your best value there. I just really don't see how with these two starting pitchers and these two teams really this game stays under that total. I think it's set pretty much right on par. I think if we got 4 runs from both teams and would push it at 9, that's definitely in the realm of possibility. Given these two starting pitchers, I do think we get up and over that 9, though. I think we see 10-plus runs in this game. Let's start who's starting for the Diamondbacks today. It's Zach Davies, the former Cub. He's pitching against his old team. 6.81 ERA and a 1.61 WHIP for Zach Davies on the year. Pretty nasty numbers. And honestly, I've been keeping watching Zach Davies thinking, oh well, this start will be better. This start will be better. Every now and then he goes out and has a decent outing, but I just think they're too few and far between. In that we look at the Cubs roster against Zach Davies. Cubs roster hitting 244 and 55 plate appearances for Zach Davies. So they haven't really smoked him yet, but I say yet in there because when you face Zach Davies, the hit parade inning can come really any inning. You look at this Cubs offense. They're hitting 283 on the road in September. This is a really solid Cubs offense that knows how to generate runs and get the timely hitting, which is why I will trust them in an over spot here. We look at after scoring 4 runs in the top of the 9th yesterday, I thought they were going to get shut out. The Cubs look to carry that momentum into today's game. I've seen it a ton in baseball. Whenever a team is getting shut out for most of the game and finishes the game strong, there's usually some sort of carryover into the next game, kind of figuring out that offense, figuring out how to hit in Arizona. Definitely think they're going to hit around Zach Davies today. And now who's starting for the Cubs today? It's Kyle Hendricks, the professor. 3.71 ERA and a 1.15 WHIP. For Hendricks on the year. Pretty solid numbers. Every now and then he has his bad outing too. Hendricks just pitched against Arizona 6 days ago, went 5 2/3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, but 7 hits allowed. I'm telling you right now, like Kyle Hendricks flirting. Well, he's always one of those pitchers that's flirting with danger. I swear, he's always got someone in scoring position. It's just a question of can he prevent them from scoring. In 119 plate appearances, the Diamondbacks are hitting 321 against Kyle Hendricks. And with that sort of batting average and the fact that they've already gotten 7 hits up on him, they just didn't really convert them into big-time damage. I think they're sitting on some runs today, too. I expect the Diamondbacks to be able to do more damage to Kyle Hendricks on the road today. Over the last 2 weeks, let's talk about bullpens, too, because these starters aren't going to last, 8-9 innings. In bullpens, Arizona 5th in bullpen ERA, Chicago 21st in bullpen ERA. As seen in yesterday's game, there should be run opportunities late in this one. And I think the fact that there's already familiarity between these two teams just playing a series, not that long ago, like a week or so ago, the fact that they've seen a lot of these bullpen's arms already, this one, just all the signs are pointing me to the over in this one. I really don't understand how it can stay under the total, knock on wood. But I think the over is definitely the play there. But Austin, what are you going with today?
Yeah, if you are watching the video and you might think this is a duplication of yesterday, because I'm going to go back to my same exact pick that cashed yesterday. Going to the Braves, taking their team total over 2.5 in the first 5 innings. It's now minus 105 on DraftKings. This line should not go up really too much. Maybe it goes up to like minus 120, minus 125. I'd still play it there. I also, if you're on FanDuel, my pivot yesterday, which did hit as well, was the Braves plus 1.5 in the first 5. Parlayed that together as a same game parlay with the over 3.5 runs in the first 5. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the first 5 over hits in general. I think it's 4.5/5.5, because I don't trust Jared Schuster on the other side. He's just not been good a lefty. The Marlins seem to hit lefties pretty well, but I don't care how the Marlins do today. I'm just hoping their pitcher, Brian Hoeing, gives us some runs today. But let's talk with the Braves, though, because obviously this is one of the best offenses of the league. This is a team that we know if maybe they don't score through 4 innings, we still know we have a chance with the Braves. A lot of offenses, if they don't score through 4, I'm like, all right, well, we're chalked. But we know the Braves offense just takes 2 guys to get on base, and then boom, a home run, a 3-run shot, and they can get that done. But let's talk about how they've done against Hoeing, who actually has decent stats. I mean, you look at his stats on the year, they're pretty solid. I mean, 4.04 ERA. I think it's like a 4.6 or 4.8 expected ERA, and a 1.22 whip. He's actually been pretty good. If you actually removed his starts against the Braves, his ERA would probably be much lower, but the Braves have had his number. In 2 appearances this season, one of them he went up against the Braves, gave up 3 2/3 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. The other one, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 7 earned runs. Well, I'm not asking for 4 or 7 earned runs today. I'm asking for 3, and I can't guarantee that he pitches, the majority of the first 5 innings. He actually could just come in here and pitch the first 1 or 2 innings, be an opener, and then someone else comes in. But I'm not too worried about that. We know the Braves, they can pretty much hit any pitcher out there. They have seen Hoeing a ton, 38 total plate appearances, only a 7.9 K percentage, and a 364 batting average. So obviously they've smoked him when they've seen him. We already just talked about those stats. But Hoeing also 13th percentile hard hit percentage, 21st in K percentage, 29th in chase and whiff rate. So this again, not missing bats. And when the bats are getting connected, you're normally seeing the ball go pretty far, and I'm confident that this Braves team can get it done once again today. If he does only pitch the first 1 or 2 innings, I'm not really scared of the Marlins bullpen a whole lot. I don't really care who they trot out there. We've seen them be able to give up runs. We've seen this Braves team be able to hit anyone out there. I think this is just a no-brainer play. I'll keep rolling with it. If they keep setting at 2.5, it's just been a Braves team that's just been too scorching hot all year long. Give me the Braves team total over 2.5 in the first 5 innings. I do want to put up, this is on DraftKings. It was one of those team total bets that we do take on DraftKings. I will talk about this in one of our NFL videos, but if there is a new DraftKings offer, we've been doing one where they give up to $200 in bonus bets, but now they're also tacking on $150 in no sweat bets, which means basically they'll refund your bet if it loses. So if you want to check it out, I'll put all the details down below in the description. I'll kind of talk about it more in an NFL video, but in terms of this video, Braves, I need 3 runs out of the first 5 innings. But Logan, you're going to an under. It involves the jersey you're wearing. What are you taking?
Everyone says I always pick in Phillies games, which is not true. But in this one, it is true. I'm going to the Phillies and Cardinals game, and I'm taking the under 5 runs in the first 5 innings, minus 115 odds on Bet365. Now, I want to talk about other books because there's line discrepancies on other books. Now, you can go play this to 4.5 for plus value. I see like plus 100 odds at 4.5 or 5.5 at minus 145. I don't really like laying juice on bets like this. I definitely wouldn't lay the juice on the minus 145. So if you want to go for plus value, you can. But whenever I'm picking a first 5 total bet and I see it makes sense, like an even odds type value to take the push potential at 5, I'm going to go ahead and do so because 5 is a magic number in the first 5 innings. We talked about that all the time. So many times they can end 3-2 in the first 5 innings. And I've seen it a million times, but I think runs are going to be hard to come by early in this game, especially with these 2 teams. We look at yesterday. Runs weren't hard to come by early in the game. Philly scored 4 in the first inning, and there were 7 total runs scored through 5. So many times in baseball, how many times do you see the reverse of the day before, the day after? I mean, I see it all the time. It's kind of the funny thing. I wonder how good you would be in baseball to just pick the opposite outcomes of the previous day. Because given these 2 pitchers, I think you might look at their ERA and be like, "Oh wow, this one's got to soar over." But I actually I'm trusting the mustache Miles Michaelis today. 5.33 ERA and a 1.31 WHIP for Michaelis. We look at Miles Michaelis. He's been one of those pitchers that ever since his first start of the year, it's been really hard to trust him. He gave up a Yerfie in his first start and sent Nerfy Nation into poverty this year. But Miles Michaelis just faced the Phillies August 25th. Allowed 5 earned runs in 6 innings pitched. So you're like, Logan, this one's going over. I just see it clear as day. I just think because he's seen them recently, he knows obviously what didn't work, has to make those adjustments. I think Miles Michaelis is going to come out and put up a more solid showing because there's a ton of familiarity with this Phillies lineup and Michaelis. The Phillies are only hitting 248 against Miles Michaelis, which I was expecting this to be near like 275 or even 300. Honestly, given that a ton of history, the fact that they tagged him, in his last start against them, okay, good for them. But I think the Phillies being on the road aren't the same as home. We look at the statistics; they tell us that exact story. Phillies only hitting 239 on the road this month. At home, they just are overpowered. They hit so well. They hit the home runs for days. On the road, they're a little bit different offense. And I think Miles Michaelis, if he is inducing the soft contact ground balls and not just getting scores for extra bases, we will be in really good shape for this one. Because I also like who's pitching for the Phillies today. It's Ranger Suarez, 2.89 ERA and a 1.43 whip on the road. Obviously, I would like the whip to be a little bit lower, but the fact that Ranger Suarez is one of those pitchers that seems to be able to wiggle his way out of jams, every time he pitches is pretty solid. I mean, he was the reason the Phillies, made the World Series last year. He was a huge piece for them. I think he's going to prove to be that again this year. Look at Suarez. He's entering in good form as well. 3.14 ERA in his last 5 games. He's been really solid. He hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs, or he's only allowed more than 2 earned runs in 1 out of his last 5 starts, and that was 3 to Miami in his last start. Miami's seen him a ton of times before already. So again, this Cardinals offense, even though they've been better this month, they're still only hitting 207 in their last 5 games, which I would have thought it would be a lot higher because they are putting up runs better. It's just, a comparison of what they've been doing earlier this year. And you're like, oh, they're so much better. Not really. I mean, 207 last 5 games. I think Ranger Suarez can go out and absolutely deal. St. Louis hitting 252 versus lefties this month. Obviously, that's an okay batting average. Nothing crazy. At 83rd percentile in ground ball percentage, if Ranger Suarez is able to induce those ground balls, we'll be in really good shape in this one. That's kind of the pitcher he is. He does rely on some strikeouts, some swing and miss stuff, but he also relies a lot on the ground ball type pitcher. And I think if he's got both those working today, we'll stand in really good chance to cash this first 5 innings. But I really do like it, and let's go Phils.
Hey, I like it too. I think it's a really good spot. Rangers obviously been good on the road, and the Phillies, you never know with that offense. Yesterday they put up a ton of runs. We could see them go scoreless today. Wouldn't surprise anyone. But those are 3 favorite picks of the day. Going to keep it simple. It's a big slate, but we're not forcing bets. We've obviously been a little bit of a so running on a treadmill. Feels like the last few days. So let's try to go 3-0. Have no picks tomorrow. Then we'll have some more on Monday for some more action. If you want to check out some NFL and college football videos, those are popping up on the screen. Go check it out. Show them some love. We're going to dominate this weekend in the NFL and college. But of course, we appreciate Austin and Logan signing out. We'll see you guys back for our MLB folks. We'll see you guys back on Monday morning, bright and early. We'll see you then. Peace.